G'day guys, mate here. Bit of a disclaimer for you. This episode of Having a Yack is one that will contain drug use and talking about drugs. This is talking about medical marijuana or cannabis, Mary Jane, whatever name you can come with it. This is basically the episode of me talking about medical cannabis. So hopefully you enjoy the show, but this is just a bit of a disclaimer. Anyway, on with the show, mate. G'day everyone, how's it going? Like I said in the disclaimer, this is talking about medical marijuana, medical cannabis, medical Mary Jane, medical marijuana. But yeah, this is basically what today's episode's all about. Anyway guys, welcome to Having a Yack Podcast. So, medical cannabis, eh? I'm on it, and there's been a lot of people who are going on it. Apparently, there's over 200,000 people who actually are on it now. But, that's just the way it is, isn't it? Now, when it comes to medical marijuana, medical cannabis has been found to have some really good medical benefits, mate. It's basically treating certain medical conditions such as chronic pain and nausea, which is like you're spewing, seizures, muscle spasms. There's even been, some studies that have shown that cannabis can help reduce inflammation, promote sleep, and reduce anxiety in certain people, certain patients and that. It's important to also know too, mate, is that medical cannabis is still a controversial topic to actually talk about. And the research is ongoing better to understand what the actual plant actually is and what the benefits are and the risks of actually having marijuana. But then at the same time, if you're not too sure about being on marijuana, just make sure you contact your healthcare provider or medical cannabis as a treatment option, but make it sure it's the last resort. Now, cannabis can come in many different forms, all right? Many, many, many different forms. There's the flower, there's the bud, or that's what they call it, a flower, but it's a bud, the leaves, the seeds, everything, right? But you can also have it in oils, like you can actually concentrate it down to oils. Now, medical cannabis oils, like in other forms of medical cannabis, has many different range of benefits for patients or people as well. There's a whole list here, right? There's a whole list of benefits when it comes to actually benefits, and to realise why oils are so bloody good to actually have if you're on that treatment plan. One of them is pain relief. Now, everyone knows about pain relief. Everyone knows about how hard it is for people who are in pain, and to know how bad it would be to be able to function properly if you've got unbearable pain. But it has been shown to provide relief from chronic pain, including neuropathic pain as well. But the other good benefits about having the oils is anti-inflammatory effects. Medical cannabis oil can also have very anti-inflammatory effects, which may also reduce symptoms of certain conditions of rheumatoid arthritis. Medical cannabis can also, especially with the oils, can have many different benefits, including anti-anxiety effects. Medical cannabis oils can help reduce anxiety and promote sense of calm in some patients. I'm actually one of them. With someone who's got anxiety, depression, CPTSD, and all the rest of it, it does help me dramatically. It helps me stay calm, stay level. Doesn't make me feel like someone's out to get me. Like, I have got my problems. We all do. Everyone has problems. It's just sometimes it's hard. Right? It's hard to try and get over those feelings, get over those emotions. Harder than others. But it's just something that you just got to work on, and I'm working on myself. Now, when it comes to medical oils, it can also have anti-seizure effects, so people with epilepsy and that type of stuff. Medical cannabis oils can be shown to help reduce the frequency and the severity of seizures of certain patients or certain people who've got epilepsy. Imagine that. Now, when it comes to sleeping, I'm also one of those people. I have night terrors. I have real bad night terrors. With the CBD oil, that's what I'm on. That is the anti-psychotic effect of the cannabis plant or the marijuana plant. CBD oil is actually coming from the plants, actually from the leaves and that type of stuff. But the whole thing is, when it comes to CBD, it helps with a lot of different things. That has been shown to be an antidepressant. But also, too, it's also good for sleep. Now, with the improved sleep, medical cannabis oils may help improve sleep quality and for some people. Now, it's important to know this one little detail. Benefits of medical cannabis oil can be depending on the individual and the specific medical condition that they're being treated. Patients should always consult a doctor or anyone else who they actually do any health care, well, whoever they do the healthcare, basically. But do that before using medical cannabis oils as a treatment option. You always keep your options open. Now, there are so many different ways of actually having this plant. There are many different ways of taking it. There are several ways of taking the cannabis depending on the desired effect or preference of the user, of the person who actually wants it. Some of these are the actual common ways of actually having it. Now, cannabis or marijuana can be smoked or vaporized. The effect can be felt almost immediately. That is what I do. I have the oil, the CBD THC oil, and also the THC plant or the bud or the flower for nighttime. And that completely mellows me out and puts me to sleep, basically. Now, there's other ways of actually having it. Now, if you don't like the way you want to take it, if it's being vaporized or being smoked or whatever like that, you can eat it. Cannabis can be consumed in the form of edibles, capsules. They take longer to take effect, but it can provide a long-lasting relief. The typical way of actually having it, well, you can, but it's up to you if you want to do this one. Cannabis can be applied directly to the skin in form of lotions and balms, which can be helpful for localized pain relief. So if you wanted to, you can actually get this balm or this lotion, and if you've got a real bad knee pain, you can put it straight on there and it will help you. Cannabis can also be consumed by placing drops or oil or under the tongue, which allows a faster absorption to the bloodstream. Well, this is what I do. I actually put about a half a mil to a mil of CBD oil under my tongue. It has the same texture and kind of the same type of taste as olive oil. That's my thing anyway. Now with each method of actually taking this so-called drug, it has different effects and dosages. Some methods be more appropriate than certain medical conditions than others. People or patients can always consult their healthcare provider before using cannabis as a treatment option, and should only purchase this product when other sources have been tested for potency and whatever else. Now, when it comes to the future of cannabis, so let's just say about 5-10 years down the track. Now, the United States are probably about 10-20 years in front of us when it comes to the way how they react to cannabis. The future of medical cannabis, in my eyes, is promising, as research and the therapeutic effects continues to expand on this plant. As more states and countries legalize cannabis for medical use, it is likely that the greater access and safe and regarded cannabis products for patients who could benefit from them. Ongoing research is necessary to fully understand the potential effects and risks of medical cannabis, as well as the identity safe and the effective dosages and the delivery methods. As technology advances, there may also be a new intervention in cannabis products, such as more precise dosing and customized formalizations, and just making different ways. For specific medical conditions, however, it is important to note that cannabis is still a controversial topic and is legal in social barriers and limited in use in many parts of the world. Now, I'm talking about all the benefits that you can get from basically having cannabis. But here's the thing. I live in Australia. I live in Victoria. Now, the driving laws in Australia can actually be different to different states, different countries even. Now, when it comes to driving laws related to medical cannabis use, is vary across different states and territories in Australia. In general, it is illegal to drive while impaired with any psychoactive substance, such as cannabis, so the THC. This includes cannabis used for medical purposes. In some states and territories, there are very, very, very strict legal limits for THC. Now, THC is the main component in cannabis that gives you that high feeling, if you didn't know that. In the driver's system, for example, in New South Wales, drivers who have been prescribed medical cannabis may still be subject to roadside drug testing and be charged with driving under the influence of THC detected in their system. But that's only, I think, for when you actually are impaired. It's important that for some patients using medical cannabis to understand the following driving laws in their state or territory. Patients should also consult their healthcare provider to determine the impact of medical cannabis on driving ability, in whether this is advisable to refrain from driving or adjust dosages for timing of medication accordingly. Well, that's what I do. I actually set my dosages when it's at night time. That gives me a good 10-12 hour window for it to get out of my system type thing and for me to not be impaired. Now, this is only going to be a very short episode, but the whole thing is, it is a very, very interesting episode that I wanted to do. But what my personal thoughts are on medical cannabis and what I hope for the future of medical cannabis, well, here's the thing. When it comes to medical cannabis, right, it is one of the most powerful things that you could actually ever have. That's the basics. I have been on 3 different types of antidepressants on different dosages and different things. The whole thing when it comes to medical cannabis, for me, it has helped. It has helped dramatically. Do I still have my moments? Fucking oath I do. We all do. Everyone that I have talked to and who I've actually known, who actually have been taken, and what I've seen and what I've heard and what I've watched, it has helped so many people in the world. Marijuana has been around for a long, long, long time. And I do mean a long time. So what is it? What is it when it comes to the actual problem with medical cannabis? What is the big fucking deal of actually having this, what's the big deal? And why is it that it's so hard for people who actually need it, actually get onto it? You know? Now, like I said there before, right? There has been a long, long, long history of cannabis. But like I said there before, it's been one of those things where no one has ever really wanted to talk about it. It's been one of those things where people who think, oh, you're a marijuana, you must be a drug taker. That's a gateway drug. To some people, yeah, it might be. Bloody oath. So I'm not going to say no. There has been a lot of cases that that's happened. A lot of cases. But the whole thing is, right, it's about time that the Australian government, well, specifically the Victorian government, because I live in Victoria, Tasmania has done the right thing. They completely say, yep, go on, mate. You've got a card, have you? Righto, no worries. You got a prescription? Yep, righto, get going. Bugger off. That's in Tasmania, where a lot of people of the mainland give shit to all the time. Tasmania have got it right in so many different ways, in so many different things. But you know what is the interesting thing about cannabis too, is how much history there is when it comes to actually, actually knowing about it. Because the actual cannabis plant has been used by humans for thousands of years, for medical and just for whatever use. Like, the thing is, right, the origin of the cannabis plant has been traced back to central China. Yeah, fucking China. Or Asia. Specific regions that are now known as Mongolia in southern Serbia. From there, the plant has spread bloody all over the fucking world, man. Including India, China, like I just said, the Middle East. It was also used for therapeutic benefits, spiritual benefits, or spiritual ways. But today, cannabis has been cultivated and consumed by many parts of the world, although the legal status varies from country to country. I think what it is too is that it has been such a big thing, especially back in the 50s and 60s, 70s, shit like that, especially the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, where they had this big drug war and they were trying to take out everyone who was doing marijuana, but then at the same time, I think some of the people were bringing over like 3 or 4, if not 5 or 6 tons of marijuana, of the plant, or at the flower or some shit. But in my opinion, in my way of thinking and that type of shit, I honestly can say that cannabis or marijuana should be legal. People should choose to have it or not. And no one should be saying to them, no, you're not allowed to have this. It's a fucking plant that has been grown on the earth for thousands of years. It is no different from having tobacco. That is a plant. That's a fucking plant that we grow, that we consume. Wheat is a plant. Rye is a plant. Lettuce, tomatoes, that's a fruit. We consume fruits. We consume grains. We consume plants like lettuces, cabbages, onions, shit like that, potatoes and shit, vegetables and shit like that. That's food, yeah. But we also consume plants. So what is the big fucking deal about having a marijuana plant? What is the big fucking deal about having a plant that has been grown on this earth for fucking years and years, thousands of years? All because it is such a bad thing, because people are starting to fucking wake up and actually starting to think this is a better way to do my anxiety, do my depression. It is a good stabilizer for fucking for people with cancer. It helps with nausea with the cancer patients. Instead of giving that fucking shit that they give you that's supposed to help your fucking nausea, it gives you fucking cancer. The pills that we take today give you fucking more health misfortunes than anything else. So how the fuck are we supposed to say, no, you are not allowed to have marijuana because that's a drug? Oh, if that's a drug? Really? That's a drug? These fucking other pills that you take to calm you down, and I'm telling you this from my experience, they turn you into zombies. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what, but I know someone who was taking pills. All I'm going to say is that it is a he. And I'm telling you right now, it turned him into a fucking zombie. The pills that they say for you to have are fucking dangerous. They are dangerous. They give you more problems than anything else. Oh, pain relief. Fucking perfect example. Pain relief. Take a couple of these fucking Enzos or Oxycontin. You fucking get addicted to them, mate. And then you go on to fucking other pills and more pills, then more pills. Then you end up taking heroin and speed and crack and all that other shit. Oh yeah, marijuana is a fucking vicious plant, isn't it, mate? Have you ever fucking seen someone who has been, now I'm talking a pure plant, not laced with LSD or any other fucking drugs or any other fucking shit on it. I'm talking about pure marijuana buds. Have you ever seen anyone who fucking carries on like a fucking pork chop to the point where they jump off a cliff? or something. And the only thing that makes me madder is that it's okay for someone to get drunk on alcohol. Yeah, alcohol. Get drunk, right? Go home, sleep it off, get up, drive, and they're fine. As long as they're under, well, in Australia, it's 0.5. As long as they're under 0.5 or 0.05, they're okay to drink. They're okay to drive, sorry. But they also are allowed to drink too. If they're under the limit, they can have another drink. Now, the whole thing is with that, is that person can go clean and clear. Yep, go on ahead, mate. You're all right. Now, let's do role reversal. Let's say that I'm gone home and had a couple of cones or had a couple of joints. Slept it off. I'm not impaired. I'm not stoned or high. I'm just level-headed type thing. Woo! Cop pulled me over. How you going, mate? This is a random drug test and alcohol test. You just blowing here. You blow it. Yep, you're fine. Now for a drug test. You do the tongue thing. Sorry, mate, but you've just come up with THC. Now you have to come back with us now, and then you're going to have your license suspended for 6 months and possibly have a jail fine, a jail term if it's higher, and you're going to have a massive fine. But I'm not impaired. Doesn't matter. THC is still in your system. That is the risk that others like me who are on THC are so worried about when we're driving. I'm not impaired at all right now. I can go in the car, drive 10 hours, come home, whatever. Doesn't worry me. I'll get tired, but I won't be stoned. I won't be affected. I won't be impaired. So, So wake up. Everyone, wake up. If you're in a government official or council worker or someone who's got a bit of authority or a bit of power, or if you're listening to this and you're a police officer and you see someone in Australia who's got THC in their system and they actually got a patient card, because when you're on medical cannabis, you either have a bit of paper like a, how you get your tablets, something like that. Or, like me, I've actually got a patient card, like an actual card, saying I'm a medical cannabis user, and it will show up on the screen for me that I am a medical cannabis person who actually uses it. If you have pulled over someone who has a card or a prescription and it comes up with THC, give him a bit of a fucking leeway. If he's not impaired, let him go. If he is impaired, throw the fucking book at him because he should know better. That's the whole thing when it comes to this argument, I suppose, about fucking THC and about marijuana. If you can drive, now this is the other thing. This is the other fucking thing. And I'm actually going to show you something. I'm actually going to read out something. Hang on. Now, I've actually got some pills here. And now, these pills are my antidepressants. I'm not taking them anymore. These are 50 milligrams. The other ones I had were 100. These turned into a fucking zombie. They both have the same fucking label on them. Now, I'm actually going to read this. Now, I've also got my medical cannabis container here that I emptied there just before, because you have to put your buds in a jar so then they keep dry and that type of stuff. This medicine may cause drowsiness and may increase your effects of alcohol if affected. Do not drive a motor vehicle or operate machinery under the effects. These pills say exactly the same fucking label, right? So tell me this, everyone. Tell me this. Why is it okay for people to drive on drugs or pills that cause the same effects as what THC does, but they don't get penalised for it? Why is it when someone gets pulled over who's zonked in their fucking head on pills, on Oxycontin, Retinol, shit like that, or Endos, morphine, shit like that, they can go clean and fucking clear? But as soon as someone pulls up who is not impaired, not fucking stoned, not fucking high, who has THC in their fucking system from the night before because of their pain, or like me with their PTSD and their fucking sleep terrors and shit, so they can actually get a good night fucking sleep, why are they being fucking paralysed, throwing the book at them like they're a fucking criminal, right? But those other bastards can get fucking scot-free. Why is it when there's an accident and the person who's on the pills more or less gets scot-fucking-free, but as soon as someone who's got a bit, even though it's not even their fucking fault, it's not their fault at all. If there's an accident and a person has tested positive for THC, even though it's not their fucking fault, even though it's the other person who's fucking hit them or crashed into them, if they get tested for fucking THC, guess what? Bang! You fucking got your 6 months fucking license taken off you, or even a year off you, with a massive fucking fine. And if you've got any fucking thing on you, you might even possibly go to fucking jail for it. But then the other fucker gets scot-free. And you're just a law-abiding standard fucking bloke, or Sheila, or whoever the fuck you are, and you're fucking driving down the fucking road, and then all of a sudden, you've got this fucking, this dickhead come through a red light, bang, smack into you on the fucking side bloody passenger door, big accident, you've been thrusting around like a fucking rag doll, and the thing is, we got to test the drivers, because they always do, which is fair enough. The other bloke has been clear and clear. They tested you. You got THC in your system. It might have been you who caused it. They throw the book at the fucking bastard who's got the fucking THC in the system. This is the thing that's fucking me off. This is the thing that's really fucking everyone off who's on medical cannabis. This is why there is a party here in Victoria, or actually in Australia, the legalised cannabis party. And thank fucking Odin and the gods that we have got some people in the higher office, or the high parliament, or the high, what do they fucking call it? The high parliament, or the high fucking centre, where the fuck they call it. We've actually got two main people who can swing a vote against with medical cannabis. Now, these people do take cannabis. Well, what would be the point of joining a fucking legalised cannabis party if you're not going to smoke cannabis? If you're, well, really, you don't have to, but you know what I mean. But the whole thing is, this was a very, very surprising fucking thing. There has been a bit of a in some ways, a bit of a, I don't know. They talked about it. Like, they actually put their opening statements on the table, and they wanted to present a bill or a law, legislation or some shit, where they want to overthrow, or they want to not necessarily overthrow. That's more of a fucking overthrow the government type bullshit. they want to help people who are on medical cannabis with the very strict, outdated fucking driving laws here in Victoria. And the thing is, the Premier is actually loving this right now. The whole thing about it too is, just give us 2 seconds, guys. Let's go take a break. 2 seconds. All right, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I think what I have actually more or less said is what needs to be done. Like, I think just a bit of a closing thing here. I think what needs to be done is just for the government and for people who have got this so-called stigma against marijuana or cannabis or whatever you want to call it, or medical marijuana, just has to just kind of cool your jets about it and basically just just call it, man. Just call it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me there today. Appreciate it. And yeah. Hope you have a good one, mate. And I'll see you for the next episode. This is Matt signing off for having the Yack Podcast. See you later, guys.